All right, and we're rolling. So I want to thank everybody for reaching out over the weekend. Anybody who replied, anyone who liked, anyone who shared. It means the world to me that message and how I'm feeling and how joyful I am is actually getting out to other people. I got a lot of positive responses, and so it means the world to me that was a means. I was able to self-express, and I was able to capture a moment of my life, and then at the same time, when I did turn it over to the world, it could have gotten nothing. It could have just stayed out there silent. At least I would have always had it, but you guys made it so much more, and everyone who was a part of that, I can't thank you enough. So, where do I want to go from here? I have some thoughts on that. A friend of mine replied on Facebook. She said, and I quote, "I may not be everyone's cup of tea," and Dan may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I am some people's shot of bourbon. And it lined up for me so many things that I have been trying to articulate about myself. And what I realize is I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at the one sentence version of an idea. So what I want to do is I want to start to put out my ideas the way I think about them, which are, a little bit longer form, a little, it takes me, I use my hands a lot, inflection with my voice. I'm not going to capture that in a tweet. I'm not going to capture that in an Instagram post. And the kinds of things that I want to talk about, I think the people who would be most interested in that conversation, either listening or participating or sharing, or if they see me as influential, to help me grow my influence, to become followers, or suggest people follow me, that kind of thing, for whatever reason they may want to do it. But I want to do that. I want to keep making content. I want to do this every day. And right now, that was 1 week, was last week. I have 3 more weeks in me of content, of what it's taking to think through all this. It's actually a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time, and I want to make sure that if I, is this something that I will only enjoy for a little bit, or can I do it in such a way that it can be sustainable? And in theory, I'm 34 right now. It's September 2019. So as long as Twitter and Periscope exist, as long as social media exists, I could do this forever. I could do 10 minutes a day. I could do 15 minutes a day. And if people liked it, they did. And if they're not, but I have a regular job. So at the very least, I got 3 to 5 years in me. So for 3 to 5 years, I am evaluating if I could do content every single day that I go to work. So not vacations, not my weekends. You guys, if I'm out, I'm out. But if I'm going to work, instead of me getting a cup of coffee, I'm going to go on Periscope and I'm going to talk for 10 minutes. And I may not be everyone's cup of tea. I may be some people's shot of bourbon. Well, you know what? If it's early and you want a shot of bourbon in the morning, I'll give you a shot of bourbon. I'll definitely have bourbon in the queue. I can do tea, I can do coffee, I can do water, I can, we can talk, we can have a joint, we can do all sorts of things. Whatever you need me to tend, I can tend that for you. What I ask is that you listen to my stories. And what I promise is, if you continue to follow me, if you continue to watch me, I don't know where this is going to go, but I have so many things to say. I think you'll be surprised the kind of topics I'm able to pull together, and the creativity that these very simple tools is actually affording me. I'm going to try to be very creative with this. So the first thing I want to do, the first So I'm going to have a segment called Shot of Thanks. So a shot of thanks today goes out to Diamond Dallas Page. He is he is former professional wrestler, three-time world heavyweight champ. He started DDP Yoga, which my friend Troy recommended to me, and I've been doing for about a year, and it's changed my life. So the topic I had tweeted out was, okay, what am I tying to DDP? All right, so we gotta look this up. Okay. All right, where are my notes? Okay, weekend reactions, long-term thinking. All right, so I need a new topic if I'm going to talk about DDP. What should I talk about? Okay, so if it's DDP, so DDP did DDP Yoga, and that helped give me strength and strengthened my back, and so I stand taller, I feel lighter, I stretch. Okay, so I stretch. So I want people to stretch their minds. I'm stretching people's minds. But they're letting me. So I'm a physical therapist. So like today is a physical therapy day. Ooh, okay. So I have a physical therapy day, and I can have a physical therapy day, I can have a shot of coffee day, or I have a cup of tea day, a shot of whiskey day, and then like smoke a joint day. Okay, so Mondays are physical therapy, people are coming off the weekends, and they want something easy, like ease them into the week. Okay, so physical therapy could ease them into the week. And then, okay, so a cup of tea, or Scott Adams is smoke a joint day. Okay, so Scott Adams is smoke a joint day, because he's a really out there thinker. Okay, and by making it a day of the week thing, and I can line them up, I could have like people who want to come in on Mondays. I have Mondays, I have my Tuesdays, I would have Wednesdays. Even if they didn't watch me every day, I could have them one day of the week. Okay, so Monday is physical therapy, Tuesday is smoke a joint, Wednesday is shot of espresso, so like a wake up, like, hey, wake the fuck up. This is really important. I need you to snap out of it. So somebody who helped me wake up. Shot of whiskey is burns so good. So all right, what would be a burn? Like, who destroyed my ego? Who told me a hard truth? Okay, so a hard truth could be like a Bill Burr, or okay, and then Friday would be like a dance. It could be a dance day, but it should be like a fun day. Like I want to send them out into their weekend. Okay. Could make Friday joint day. Yeah, okay, so Friday's joint day. So Tuesday, so we got Tuesday free, or we can move up. So physical therapy, cup of tea, shot of espresso, shot of whiskey, smoke a joint. So then the Friday people, okay. And then, yeah, so then that tells the arc. So the arc of, hey, how's it going? Sorry, lost in train of thought. But you kind of got to see a behind the scenes look at how my thought process works. So I appreciate you hanging on so far. I'm about to finish a thought, but I'm not. This is real. I didn't expect to do this. I really got lost in thought, and it was just easier to not look at you to help me think. But I was aware I was on camera because I want to show how. Like my process is I think out loud. So this is a think out loud kind of creative process, and so if you're watching this and you're questioning the legitimacy, hang on, I'll let me find my watch. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, so so I'm gonna go in and we're gonna just so everybody, because my phone is right here and I don't want to move it. I don't want to disrupt the camera view. So I'm just gonna try and find calendar. Come on. Yes, messenger. All right. So apparently there isn't a calendar on the watch. Okay, come on. All right, so yeah, just back in the home screen. So it's Sunday, September 1st, 11:10 a.m. Pacific, and so I just so that, like, because I'll put this out. I don't know when I'm going to put this out. I don't know when I'm going to stage everything, but I want to kind of show the periscopes are me presenting and me like on camera. That's the performance that you're seeing. This is what it takes to make that possible. And I part of my branding that I want to be transparent. And so part of that transparency is I was originally just filming this as a practice for myself so that I could like look at my cues. And I had a moment where I didn't know, I actually got lost in thought, which happens all the time with me. Of anybody who talks to me, they know it gets lost in thought. And I needed something to do it. So we're like we're almost 13 minutes. I appreciate you waiting so far. So if you've hung in so far, thank you. It'll be a little bit more. I just want to run through what I was thinking earlier, and then I'll kind of come back in. All right, so give me a second. So, okay. Monday, physical therapy. This Monday we did DDP. Tuesday is a cup of tea, should be sore. So you want something easy. Wednesday is a shot of espresso, you need to wake up. Thursday is a shot of whiskey, shot of bourbon, burning so good. And shot of bourbon, burning so good. Better than tequila. I don't like how tequila sounds. And I do physical therapy, and I do drink tea. I don't get shots of espresso, but other people do. That's a pretty common thing. So at least it's two for them, two for me, two for them. And then Friday smoke a joint, which is legal here in Seattle, and it's coming everywhere else, and it'll be a thing I want to eventually talk about, and so it'll kind of give me context to talk about it later. And then so everybody who wants, so like people who want to see, who know me for yoga can watch me on Mondays. People who know me for like the Brene Brown kind of stuff can watch me on Tuesdays. The Wednesday shot of espresso, that's like a business. Okay, so that's, you wake up and do business. And then Thursday is shot of whiskey, such markets, because markets are tough, but if they burn so good, making money burns so good. And then Friday is smoke a joint day. And that would just be, hey, let's feel good. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's just kind of some fluff. But like that's different than Tuesday, because if Friday's light and fluffy, and it's after it's medicine. It's helped me. It helped me. It's helping other people. CBD's helping people. So it's the medicine for the week of like, how do we help heal? And we can heal by dancing. We can heal by talking about our feelings. So that's like a vulnerability day. Yeah. Okay. So smoking. Smoking a joint on Friday is a vulnerability day, because I'm not afraid to express my emotions, which is a common side effect of THC. And it's not something that people should be afraid of. It's something that people should be okay with. And you're setting an example so that by the time they get marijuana, they will, already be in touch with their feelings, and that overwhelming sensation of smoking and having never dealt with your emotions won't be too crazy. Okay, so physical therapy, which is like your body, how to heal your body, how to take care of your body. Athletics, Tuesday's Cup of Tea, so it's Brene Brown, that's the positivity movement, that's believing in yourself. Yeah, like some vulnerability, but more coaching. Wednesday is business and entrepreneurship, because you got to take a shot of coffee to wake up in the morning. Thursday is shot of whiskey, so that's markets, that's investing, putting your money at risk, but calculated risk. And then Friday is smoke a joint, so healing and vulnerability. Okay, I like that order. What that affords me is, it gives me a way to diversify my audience, because I can have people that just tune in on particular days of week, so I can have threads for each day of the week. So I can have a Monday thread where just my Monday people like check for updates. I can have a Tuesday thread, so I can have a thread of the day of the week. I can have a thread for the hardcore people who want to follow every day and actually see how I can go from world to world to world to world. But that'll be my core. That's in the 80-20, that's the potential 80. Or the potential 20 that does 80. But also, people in the individual days could be 20% within that day. So I can diversify, so that gives me six potential, hi again, yes, I know I'm talking not loud, and I know I'm doing this to the camera. So it's again, like part of everybody seeing what the creative process is like behind the scenes. People who are really, really good at the creative process are very aware they're on camera. They're very aware of what they're saying. They're very clear about what they think about. If they're a personality that you only see on camera and you don't see anything like this, what you may not realize is this is how, like, the wandering mind, and I don't have anybody else to talk to. There's nobody else here. I'm alone by myself. It's just me and the dogs. But I have some time, and I want to make progress on this because it's Sunday and I have to do a show tomorrow. So the urgency is there, and I have to figure this out. But I like that. I like that I create senses of urgency for myself. It's one of the ways that I try to accomplish my goals is, I know, and I'll talk about this later, I know consistency supersedes intensity, and I'll talk about why that works. So what's more important than anything is doing it all the time. So, we all work, most of us work 5 days a week. I work 5 days a week. If I can do 10 minutes 5 days a week, but I barely have to prepare, I get to speak my mind as I think it. When those thoughts are recorded, they're no longer running around up here. I can relive them. I have a copy of them, just like I have a copy of this behind the scenes, where I can show people like, hey, this is how my mind works. This is why Dan is Dan. And I love you if you're one of those people that has never made me feel like that. And generally, like, that's why you're on the early stages of this. And I apologize if this is worrisome. I apologize if what you're feeling right now is worried. What I have been performing my whole life. I have been performing. I did gymnastics and tumbling when I was younger. I did martial arts. Tumbling is very physical. It's a very physical performance. It's very engaged. You have to be incredibly focused, and you have to tune out everything else. I did martial arts. I did Taekwondo, which I got up to the level of a black belt, but I was also like 11, 12. But again, when you're fighting somebody, you have to tune everything else out and focus. And I like that because I'm at a point in my life where, and very purposeful point in my life where I have the level of professional credibility that I've always wanted, and that's the Amazon tenure, being a senior data engineer. Now I'm data engineering manager at a startup, and so we're like, just even with those two data points, I have so much room to go, or at the very least, I know for a fact I can do data engineering forever, and it's not super time consuming. Doing almost anything else is incredibly time consuming for me. Even this, you're 22 minutes in. Hi again. So I know you're watching this recorded, but like, I'm treating this like a live stream. No one's on my live streams at this point anyway, so it's kind of like the same thing. Again, I'm hoping that changes. I'm hoping things like this and being transparent and being vulnerable show people that I'm legit and I'm self-aware without being crazy, which is exactly what the point of therapy is. Like, I've been in therapy 5 times. I went in college. My friends had an intervention for my drinking, and they sat me down and they told me what my drinking was doing to affect them. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to hear, but it's also one of the most touching because people were worried about me. And up until that point, I had been exhibiting some pretty destructive behavior that people were dealing with. But I don't know that they had done that for anyone else. So maybe I'm proud of how bad I got, but my cry for help worked, and I didn't know it was a cry for help. Okay. Like, I didn't know. I now in hindsight am aware, like, pervasive drinking, like I was, especially around an emotional issue that I wasn't dealing with, i.e. my broken up girlfriend, that God, what am I doing? I had an intervention, and I went to therapy, and my friend Alex took me to therapy, and I love him forever for it because it changed my life. But I finally got to talk about my feelings in a way that I had never done before, in a very vulnerable way, in a very neutral way, because friends are like family to me. So I went from growing up with a family to just being around another family, but families also in each other's business all the time, and I just wanted a new person to talk to, and so that was therapy. And a year later, I went back because I'd broken up with another girlfriend, and I was really sad about it. And instead of, I drank myself crazy once, and then after that, I went to therapy. I was in therapy when I was married. It was toward the end. It was right. So we were in couples counseling. We then got separated. We were separated for 4 months. We got divorced 5 or 6 months later, and And so I was in therapy for over a year and a half. Erica Faye, who I've tagged in a bunch of these, she was my therapist. She's awesome. She's about to be a mom. Congratulations. And so what working with Erica taught me how to do was be aware of how I was feeling without judging it. So I was feeling nervous, and I didn't want to judge being nervous. I wanted to do something about it. So day one, and Mel Robbins, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I put my phone up, I started recording, and it locked me into this moment that I now have to complete. But I was nervous, and rather than dismissing it, or rather than avoiding it or feeling bad about that I was nervous, I just did something about it. So now I'm recording. And I felt nervous when I lost my train of thought and I had to pause and look at the computer. And I didn't know what to do, but I was aware that I was nervous, and I was aware that even though this wasn't a big deal, I'm on camera. I was hoping to look at this later. It's going to make me feel nervous. And eventually got to the point where I acknowledged it. I acknowledged that I screwed up. I acknowledged that I lost my place, and I addressed the audience. I broke the fourth wall. You're on the fourth wall right now. I broke it, but that's the whole point of this, is like, there is no fourth wall. There is no wall between us. I can't do that. It's not how I work. So that cuts to, oh no, I actually need an idea. And I couldn't even make myself come back to camera because I was so focused on that I needed a new idea. Now I'm further away from the camera. Now I have a little bit more distance. I'm not as imposing. I don't feel the pull to be on camera. And if I actually kind of look over here, it helps me not try to address my thoughts to you, but rather address my thoughts to nothing. And so my eyes can relax because they can just lock on something. And by the way, like, my ability to stand through this, my strength, DDP yoga, DDP yoga, DDP yoga. So I'm locked in, and I think out loud. But I don't have the kind of things that I think about these days. I'm running out of mental memory, like addressable memory, to fill the thoughts that I have. What I can do, though, is remember things that I hear. I actually have pretty good hearing. I've listened to music my whole life. I was around a lot of music. I was educated in music. I have had to listen to myself. I've had to listen to the things that I say. I've had to become more self-aware because I was so destructive. So I do this a lot, and I would bet money people either also do this or they want to do this. So I'm lost in, I lock in, and I don't have to think, I'm not looking the part, but I can just lock in, and I can kind of close my eyes, and I can let my mind wander, and I can think, okay. And then because I can now close my eyes, which I didn't want to do looking at you, I can visualize bigger ideas. And so right now I'm seeing, like over here, I can see Monday. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And and then, so I had a cup of tea, and which I can visualize. I had a shot of bourbon, which I can visualize. And I'm talking to my friend Megan about being a barista, and my friend talked to Anna about being a barista. And so there's coffee thing, there's coffee over here, and legal marijuana. I want that to be more of a conversation. I enjoy marijuana. I work for a cannabis company, so now I have these icons. I kind of have emojis, and I want to see what the order is. What do I want? And so I knew tomorrow I wanted to talk about. Actually, I thought I wanted to talk about DDP, and so the other things I don't have, I needed a new thing and that became physical therapy. So physical therapy kind of gives me a way to, so on when I was first doing DDP yoga, I was doing the intermediate, and I got to the point where I could do not black diamond. Oh, this is gonna kill me. Diamond cutter. Yeah, so I could do diamond cutter every Monday, and that was my test of like how bad had my week gotten. Where did I have a good diamond cutter or a bad one? Yeah, diamond cutter 2.0. So, so that is a thought that led me to think about, actually, I enjoy like a good stretch on Mondays, like stretch out from the weekend. Maybe I slept in, maybe I slept on the couch weird, maybe I smoked too much, maybe I ate too much junk food or watched too much TV. So Monday started the week, stretch it out. Okay, and then so that's Monday. So now I can close. Okay, so I can see like a bicep, like the bicep icon. So that's up here. And then Tuesday is cup of tea, shot of espresso, shot of bourbon, smoke a joint. And I have to do this. I have to talk out loud. I have to visualize. All these exercises that I worked with Erica and my other therapist. I was the two other times. So I was once in San Francisco and once in Seattle. Both were short term. I really didn't. Neither of them were as good as you there, Erica. So, and there's all sorts of techniques. There's all sorts of techniques and things you can do, and you can invent new ways. I don't think about that I have to follow doc. I invent new ways to address my head because I have never met anyone who thinks like I do. And I'm starting to embrace the idea that I might be, we all are unique. We all are. You are, I am, I'm unique from everyone else in the world in ways that are solely mine, and as is everyone else to me. And I'm trying to embrace what I am. And what I am is an original. And what I am is someone who doesn't think like other people. And I'm in a moment right now where I'm capturing this. And I want it to live forever. Because I want the world to see what it's like to be me. Because it's not always easy being me. And I try to be easy on everyone else because it's not easy on me. Because I know how easy I'm not. And that's really scary. Because I can be my own worst enemy. And I have been over and over again. And my mind wanders. I've done it my whole life because I'm interested in so many things. And I see relationships from, seemingly diverse areas. To me, it's all connected. What Scott Adams talks about and what DDP talks about, that's actually a really easy thread. What Charlie Munger talks about and what DDP talks about are the same thing. That is what I want my show to be about. That is what I want to do. This is thinking out loud. This is creative thought. If you aren't giving yourself time to think out loud and say bananas things and then catch yourself and be like, I said a bananas thing. Oh my God. Is it still bananas? That's what Jeff Foxworthy talks about being a comedian. Being a comedian, he said, is you have like a thought will enter your head and you go, that's a thought. And then it leaves. And sometimes it never comes back. And he said a comedian is somebody who the thought enters, it leaves, and he goes, wait a second. What did just happen? And then you analyze it and you break it down. And it's also a symptom of obsessive behavior. How about that? All the professionals, all the people that we love and admire, obsessives, compulsives. Drew Brees and Tom Brady absolutely are. The guy who's blind but can do the card tricks, magic, obsessive compulsive, and he admits it. I'm trying to avoid that, and I can talk my way out of it, but when I don't have anyone to talk to, I absolutely become obsessive about things that either don't matter or the things that do matter, I make matter 1,000 times 1,000. And that's not healthy either, because they didn't ask for that. I put that on them. So we're 35 minutes in. Again, thank you for staying. I appreciate you kind of seeing what it's like to live in my shoes for a second and to think my thoughts and my train of my thought process. And I appreciate that you've stuck with me this long. This has been a wild ride. I did not think we were going to end up here, but I like where this is going. Again, these are things I think about all the time. This is part of what I wanted to do with this show, was show that not only can I think about all these things, I can think about them at a level where I'm having conversations with other influential people in those areas. I would love to personally look Brene Brown in the eyes and thank her. I'd love to do it the same for DDP, Scott Adams, Ray Dalio. Principles is a great book. Jeff Bezos. I want to shake his hand, look him in the eye, and thank him for building Amazon, because I got to work there, and it's an imagination factory. Except they're they're better than anyone else I've ever seen at bringing that to life. And there's a million other stories for how that happens and how that works. So if you've made it this far, you really trust me. It's 36 minutes in. I have gone all over the place. You really trust me. I wouldn't have trusted me to watch this through to the length that you have. I would not have trusted me to do this at least maybe 2 years ago. Definitely before 2 years ago. Maybe I could have started, maybe I would have still been skeptical as late as, say, April of 2019. So we're 4 months after that. My ability to be comfortable talking about the things I'm comfortable at and sharing them at the scale that I'm sharing them at. Scale being not myself, not my immediate family, not my immediate friends, not my partner, who have all heard these stories and who have very, very patiently heard these things before and have bared with me and have helped me become okay with myself. So I love you all and thank you all very much. Again, Twitter thread, the thanks thread on the dance video. Those are most notable. I've also individually messaged people. So what so the people who I wanted to thank, and those people who let me be who I am, and so again, this is me. I have to kind of now. I left breadcrumbs on my tangent. So tangent, I left breadcrumbs. Now I got to go back and I got to get back on here and complete this, because I'll wrap it up. So we're almost at 40 minutes. 4 months ago, I had zero comfort in talking about any of this to anyone outside of those people. And 4 months later, I want to become a social media influencer. Time flies, okay? Change, if you are intentional about the change that you want, you can make things happen. And I'm going to try to show it. If you're this far, you are the person I'm most excited about, because what I want to have people believe is that something small can become something very big in a relatively short amount of time. I am giving myself till I'm 40. Actually, no. I'm giving myself 3 weeks. Starting tomorrow, I have 3 weeks, and I'll figure out what happens from there. But if I like it, and if I get responses, and this works with people, and people want more of this, I'm building a structure, because I'm an engineer, I'm building a structure that will let me do this for a long, long time, and on a consistent basis, in a very structured way that is helpful to people, and returns so many blessings that I have been given back to the world. So, thank you all so much. I'm going to go lie down. I'm this is exhausting. Thank you.